It's Friday, July 24th, 2026. You're listening to the DX Today AI Daily Brief. Today, Alphabet lifts its AI spending toward $205 billion as cloud revenue surges. The White House accuses a Chinese lab of copying an American model. And Amazon trims its artificial general intelligence team even as it pours billions into AI. Let's get into it.
Alphabet reported second quarter results on Wednesday that beat expectations, with revenue of $119.8 billion, up 24% from a year earlier. Google Cloud was the standout, growing 82% to $24.8 billion, its backlog swelling past $500 billion. But the number that moved the stock was spending. Chief Financial Officer Anat Ashkenazi raised full-year capital expenditure guidance to as much as $205 billion, up sharply from earlier estimates, almost all of it aimed at AI infrastructure. Second quarter capital spending alone reached nearly $45 billion. Investors, worried about the pace of these outlays, sent shares lower despite the earnings beat.
From earnings to infrastructure.
OpenAI is planting another enormous flag in the American South. On Wednesday, the company unveiled Project Camellia, a 3.2 gigawatt AI data center campus spread across 1,400 acres in Effingham County, Georgia, with reported spending around $20 billion. Georgia Power will deliver electricity in phases between 2028 and 2032, and OpenAI says it will fully fund the grid infrastructure, so existing customers do not subsidize the project. The campus will use closed-loop cooling to limit water use, and the company pledged $80 million in community benefits plus $71 million in Codex credits for Georgia students. 3.2 gigawatts is roughly the output of 3 large nuclear reactors, dedicated to a single company's AI ambitions.
Now, an international accusation.
A senior American official has leveled a striking charge at one of China's leading AI labs. Michael Kratzios, who directs the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy, said publicly that Moonshot AI distilled Anthropic's Fable model to build its powerful Kimi K3 system, calling it covert industrial distillation aimed at stealing American technology. He separately alleged that Moonshot obtained restricted NVIDIA GB300 chips through Thailand. It is the first time a senior official has accused a specific Chinese lab of copying a specific American model. Independent researchers found that Kimi K3 identifies itself as Claude unusually often. Moonshot has not conceded the claim, and no legal finding exists, so for now, it remains a serious but unproven allegation.
Meanwhile, jobs are shifting.
Amazon is cutting jobs inside the very division building its most advanced AI. The company confirmed layoffs across its artificial general intelligence organization, saying it is reshaping teams to focus on the projects with the biggest customer impact. Employees posting publicly said the cuts reached groups working on model customization and post-training, with some describing reductions of around 10%. Amazon declined to say how many roles were eliminated. The move follows 16,000 job cuts in January and more than 30,000 over the past 10 months, even as the company pours billions into AI. It is a pointed reminder that heavy investment in artificial intelligence and shrinking headcount are, increasingly, happening at the same companies at the same time.
Next, a robotics bet.
A Chinese robotics startup is the latest to reach unicorn status on the promise of physical AI. Cbot, also known as Ling Chu Intelligence, is close to finalizing about $100 million in new funding at a valuation near $1.5 billion. The round is led by the car maker Chery, with participation from the sensor maker Lens Technology. Founded only in 2024 by a Peking University dean, an Alibaba and Tencent robotics veteran, and a Stanford scholar, Cbot has now raised roughly $300 million. Its focus is world models, AI that helps robots and self-driving cars perceive and respond to the physical world rather than simply answer questions. It joins a fast-growing roster of Chinese physical AI companies.
From robots to browsers.
Perplexity is pushing deeper into the workplace. The company launched Comet Enterprise, a version of its AI-powered browser and agent built for teams, priced at about $40 per seat. The Enterprise Edition adds security and compliance features, including SO2 certification and an integration with CrowdStrike's Falcon platform, aimed at companies nervous about turning an autonomous agent loose inside their systems. Perplexity, valued in recent reporting at around $22 billion, says its browser can now sit alongside the tools employees already use, handling research and routine tasks directly on the page. It is a direct challenge to both traditional browsers and the enterprise agent platforms that OpenAI, Google, and Microsoft are all racing to sell.
Healthcare AI draws capital.
Investors are betting that AI can untangle America's medical billing mess. Candid Health raised $120 million in a Series D round, backed by 6th Street Growth, 8VC, and Y Combinator, among others. The company builds autonomous revenue cycle management, software that handles the coding, claims, and payments that flow between healthcare providers and insurers. It is aiming at a part of the American health system that burns roughly $280 billion a year on administrative overhead. The pitch is that AI agents can process claims faster and with fewer errors than the sprawling back offices hospitals rely on today. It is another sign that investors increasingly favor the practical plumbing of AI over flashy consumer apps.
Now, moderation at scale.
Meta says its machines are now better than people at policing its platforms, and not everyone is convinced. The company reported that its AI moderation system produces 13% fewer errors and catches 10% more policy violations than human moderators. But at Meta's scale of billions of users, even a more accurate system still makes an enormous number of wrong calls, and some Instagram and Facebook users say their accounts were wrongly deleted with no easy way to reach a human. Both things can be true at once. A system can improve average accuracy while still landing catastrophic mistakes on individual people. Critics argue the missing piece is not smarter detection, but faster appeals, a way to quickly reverse the wrongful removals automation inevitably produces.
A workspace for agents.
Block, the company behind Square and Cash App, is rethinking how people and AI work side by side. It released Buzz, an open-source collaboration workspace built on the decentralized Nostr protocol, where humans and AI agents can share messages, code, workflows, and repositories in the same environment. The idea is that most software was built for people, with AI bolted on later as a sidebar assistant. Buzz instead treats agents as full participants from the start, able to read the repository and act alongside their human colleagues. Because it runs on a protocol no single company controls, the workspace is not owned by any one platform. It is a small release with a big idea about who owns the tools agents will soon inhabit.
Teaching AI by showing.
Anthropic wants you to teach its AI simply by doing your job in front of it. The company updated its Claude Cowork desktop app so users can record their screen while narrating what they are doing, and Claude will turn that recording into a reusable skill. The bet is that most people cannot write a precise specification for a task they perform on instinct, which is exactly why workplace AI adoption has been so slow. Demonstrating a workflow once, with a running commentary explaining the judgment calls, captures both the steps and the reasoning behind them. It sidesteps prompt engineering entirely for the people least likely to learn it. The obstacle Anthropic must overcome is trust, convincing employees to let an AI watch their screen.
An open model goes stable.
The open-weight AI wave reaches another milestone today. DeepSeek's V4 model moves to its stable release, shedding the preview build churn that had kept cautious companies from moving real workloads onto it. That matters because of price. DeepSeek's rates, around 44 cents per million output tokens, set the floor the rest of the industry gets measured against. And a stable version removes one of the last reasons enterprises hesitated: It arrives at a charged moment for open models, just days before China's Kimi K3 is set to release its weights free to the public. Together, they give companies a genuine option to download and run frontier-grade AI themselves, at the cost of hardware rather than a monthly bill.
Finally, a European build-out.
Microsoft is deepening its ties to Europe's best-known AI startup. The company announced an expanded partnership with France's Mistral, featuring multi-billion-dollar joint investments to grow GPU-powered data center capacity across Europe using NVIDIA's new Vera Rubin systems. The deal gives Mistral the heavy compute it needs to keep pace with far larger American rivals, and it gives Microsoft a stronger foothold in a region increasingly determined to build sovereign AI capacity of its own rather than depend entirely on Silicon Valley. It also underscores how the AI race is now as much about who controls data centers and chips as it is about who trains the smartest model. Compute, more and more, is the real prize.
That's your briefing for Friday, July 24th, 2026. For DX Today, stay curious.